Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining the meeting. So, as I said in the Plus Team meeting channel, there's a few of the items that we will go through about it, which is some of the roadmap cards that we have not yet been presented last week, and if there is any new cards that or some updates for the cards. So I think Taiwan we have not yet presented to the team. So, Chet, can you talk about this?
Okay, should I share my screen?
I am sharing, and if you feel fine, then you can share yours as well. You use yours. Use yours.
I cannot see your screen. Did you share?
Oh, elephant.
Huh? What? Check what you talking about.
Are you sure? I cannot see your. I cannot see you share anything.
It's a problem. He looks a problem.
Can you
It's
see?
a problem.
Can you see your share screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
No.
Look at that go.
Maybe you try to share by yourself.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So Roman 7 in Taiwan, we try to revamp the CS panel. I think we were discussing about this long time ago with Matthew or country manager because most of the order are from admin panel, but this is now we expect what we CS want to do that. So the objective in Roman 7 is to revamp the CS panel and try to let the CS move back to CS panel to press order for clients, if possible. So, but the revamp is like this. Why CS press the order on admin panel but not CS panel is because most of order they will initialize the order as active status and they assign the driver afterwards. So that's why they use the panel. So to revamp the CS panel, we propose in this way that we try to add an extension number. This is an existing field, so should be no problem. And we also propose to include an order status field so that CS can choose. This is if they want to assign a driver, then they probably need to choose as active status. And if they want to assign a driver, then just simply input the driver ID into this field. And we also want to create a bonus field. This is an existing field. Yeah. And we also want to have a field. I think this is a new field that we designed Roadmap 6. If you remember this, because I think it's under development in Roadmap 6. So there's a case that they need to input the when driver go to a pickup point, they found the goods is actually overweight or oversized, then they need to increase the price. So the CS in previous CS just put the overweight oversized into the bonus field because client asked us to separate the field. So that's why we propose to separate this overweight oversized field in Roadmap 6. So this is what we created for Roadmap 6. And we want to also include this in CS panel. And the note is for internal use only. And there's a new field that VAT excluded field. So as I mentioned before, we have an offline pricing model, and most of the offline pricing is not include a VAT. So if CS override the price here and it's not the VAT included, then they need to just tick the box here. So this is what we propose for Roadmap 7.
So okay, I think to some extent we're skirting the issue of manual assignment of drivers, which this is trying to solve it, but it's not actually saying, hey, we should just allow manual assignment of drivers. I think that's really what we should do. And secondarily, the button for the DAT is basically going to have to happen anyway for roadmap, whatever we're at 6. So that's going to have to happen as it is. The extension number should just be there anyway. I don't know why it isn't, just because no one asked for it. Bonus field, again, I just think we removed it for Taiwan because no one asked for it whenever we did this a year and a half ago or whatever.
Yeah, and yeah, so I think I have to note that there's a case in Taiwan that she's just pressed order as active status and they assign the driver afterwards because there is a dispatcher in our kind of dispatcher center or warehouse. There's a manager there, so they assign a driver to CS afterwards. So there's a case that CS press order and init as an active status, and then they assign the driver. So we just suggest don't combine the order status field and driver ID field here. Yeah, so because normally if you have a driver, I mean normally if she is active, then it should have a driver. But in the workflow in Taiwan, it's not like this. So suggest don't combine these two fields.
So I think what I'm saying is that actually the feature is allow manual assignment of drivers, or at least avoid publishing it to all drivers. And what you're suggesting is just to, I mean, it's probably the right way to do it, but I'm saying that the actual feature shouldn't be, oh, add an order status and let them set active. And then later on, driver, the feature should be provide a rigorous way for CS to create an order that can later be manually assigned to a driver.
So basically they can, if they using it in this way, like they create order with active status here through CS panel, but they don't assign a driver ID here. So they just use the current way that to go to the admin panel to assign the driver afterwards. In this case,
I agree with you. What I'm saying is that that's just we're putting like a product spec define a hack around our system. Was actually maybe you should just say what we want, which is to allow manual assignment of drivers. It's kind of a semantic discussion.
So is it okay to implement this or any hack? I don't know.
I think I guess what I'm saying is maybe we just have a button that says manually assign driver, and ignore the fact that the way we do that is we create the status as active. Now someone's telling me that what I'm saying is not something else. So yeah, so what I'm saying is like this is cementing the implementation detail for how we assign a driver manually, rather than actually creating a feature that says let's do what actually makes sense from the CS point of view.
Okay. So that's it for roadmap 7 of Taiwan. And we do discuss internally that with all countries PM that if we want to make it globally, but we want is so specific to Taiwan, so we just suggest to implement this in Taiwan CS panel.
I think the manual assignment of drivers should be global. The VAT thing is probably not, but the manual assignment of drivers should be global.
How about the extra fee for overweight, oversize? It requires to add one another cell on the DB, column on the DB, right?
Yeah, it's actually a new.
Is the point of it? This is like a fee change after the fact.
Yes.
You can the driver's going to change it later.
I think the driver will call CS and CS will input it manually, I guess.
Yes, yes.
So in other countries, the way this works is that you call CS and CS changes the price. And hopefully,
I think that's common in Korea and Taiwan because we don't allow driver to update the price.
so what's the point of this field being something different?
Why we separate this field, overweight and oversized field, is because the clients ask us to provide. I mean, we have an invoice for them, and they ask us to separate the best fee and some like bonus and this fee like overweight and oversized fields. So that's why we try to separate it. And currently, finance just retrieve the information from bonus because CS Press use bonus as a function of doing this. So
Trey, I got a question. Like,
Yes.
if say you have an order, the price is like $10, and one of the driver call you and ask you to add $2 for the overweight charge.
Yes.
Then how the total price comes to?
Total price.
Yeah, because the point of view of the client, it should be $12.
Yes.
But there's no calculation logic behind, actually.
So there's what I mentioned is there's a offline price model in Taiwan. They have
I mean,
find some.
I mean, even if you add this bill, you need to touch the pricing calculation logic.
Yeah, just plus the amount of this field.
No, it's not only about because you have an option called BAT, so it's a complicated logic.
So technically, the VAT stuff's already in Roadmap 6, but yeah, it's complicated.
Mhm.
I think we're skirting around the issue, which is that price breakdowns are really terrible and need to be rethought across the board.
I think no more inputs.
Okay.
I think for the driver ID, which is the assigned of the driver, and some bonus or some of the fields that we may discuss with all the PMs again to see if it is a global or local or not. Yeah, since we didn't check, is that we already confirmed that all of them do not need kind of the inputs or disputes?
You mean, do we finalize the with all country PM?
Yeah.
I think only Korea input that they need they doesn't need VAT, but they need the dedicated driver assign function.
Okay, so maybe we will get some conclusion this week. You can check with the other PMs to make sure which field is global and which field is Taiwan only. And I think the other one is I'm not sure if there's any calculation problems behind that. If you add bonus and then VAT things, the back end calculation, is this no problem for adding bonus here?
So bonus deliberately is not related to the pricing because though we can just recalculate it. It's a deliberate act. Because in Hong Kong, bonus is the only thing you can change after the order is created.
Okay, then it should be not a problem. So that's the only we need to do is to calculate to confirm which field is the global and which field is local, and we will add back to the Room 7 card.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other concern from Matthew or others?
Just the concerns I already stated, which is we're kind of at the moment we're still just hacking, right? But at some point we need to actually fix it.
So if Taiwan keeps on using the order to have the CS can take depending on the active, is that fine for you guys?
Importantly, it breaks. If you do on admin, it really breaks stuff. But I mean, we've got to remove that. But I'd rather we say assign the driver manually rather than say, hey, set the order status to pending or active.
Mm.
And as stated elsewhere, like just before as well, the hacking around. So fundamentally, the pricing editing is not done in a good way. So I think that's actually what Trek really wants to solve. Is he wants to be able to modify a ledger of pricing items so that he can create a consistent invoice with a consistent price that involves tax and everything, which we don't have.
So Trek, do you have any comment on this?
Sorry, what
I mean the comment from Matthew. Do you have any feedback?
which point?
My comment is just that Trek's real problem is that the pricing and the price breakdown is not well defined and is not updatable in any meaningful way, and that's really what his problem with the extra fee for overweight is that there is no way for anyone on CS to actually change a price in a way that creates a consistent breakdown.
Yeah, but I think CS just using this as what they did because
I think Taiwan moved some of the functions in the admin panel to the CS panel. Am I right? Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway, it's fine. All I'm saying is that we're just cementing hacks rather than actually fixing the fundamental problem.
Understand. I think we will take a look into it later on to see if there are any tidy up of all the pricing breakdowns here. Yeah, check maybe we can take a look on this and then we will check on this later on. So any else? You know, Tom, is that you have some updates for China? So is it you're online so you can share your screen?
Can you guys see my screen? No?
Oh, you can now.
Okay. For China, the roadmap 7 is mainly based on no? Okay. Yeah. This is just a basic draft route framing of the China roadmap 7 electricity. So we're planning to make a few changes in the first home screen. For the I'm assuming first. So currently, when we try to change the date for the order, we have a pop-up, and you actually have to. It's actually like a mobile interface, like an Android kind of calendar that you have to pick a date. So we're gonna change that into an interface that's similar to this is Skyscanner, how you pick a date on the calendar. And the other part is we want to bring the hourly rental option out in the first screen, because like currently you have to click the what's it called, the blue button, in order to choose the rental hour. So now we're going to put that up, and if the company has the hourly pricing model, then they will see the option. And when the user click that option, then there will be a number stepper pop up, then he can choose the number of hours they want to have. And another part for the roadmap 7 is that previously we have the default branch address locked up in the first line. Like you have to click edit button, and then you have to type all the things to edit the address. So now we want to treat it as a waypoint. Like, so you can actually edit the location on screen, and like the other waypoint in the address box. You get what I mean, Michael? And the last part for the change will be at the bottom of the screen. So we want to have a remark or extra requirement that is not confirmed yet. I have to discuss it with you later. At the bottom of the screen, because currently the space is blank, but we think because many of the users will have remarks for the order, so we want to put that out instead of having them do an extra click, clicking the blue button and then to add extra requirement or add remark for the order. That's pretty much it for China roadmap 7. You got any question?
Is all something related to the UI and UX only?
Should be. Yeah, should be. There's nothing in the logic. Yes.
I have a question. So the remark is for the extra requirement only, right? Because the waypoint has a remark already.
It's a bit different because we have two kind of remarks, right? One remark is for the whole order, whole route, and the other remark is actually for a particular waypoint. So we keep both. So you can actually change the remark for the waypoint in the address box, and then for the route or for the order, you have to edit the remark at the bottom of the screen. Yep.
I think you can't put extra requirements to the bottom of the bar because I don't think you can put the extra requirements to the bottom of the bar because Hong Kong has a lot of requirements. So you might not be able to accommodate Hong Kong's extra requirements.
Because we thought about it too. So like for some country or for some corporate client, they have like 10 or 15 extra requirements. So it doesn't make sense if you list them all. So we're planning to put the first extra requirement that has been created, or the most frequent 3 of them out. But it hasn't been confirmed yet. We have to talk to Elaine and see how difficult it is to put that in. Otherwise, you just keep the remarks.
I think maybe you can ask if the map can be removed at the first screen and
The map?
click on map view button to change to map view. Then you can put more things on the first screen.
Mm-hmm.
And because I tested with Sans and
I can't hear you.
This disappeared.
Yeah, voice got cut out.
And I see they're all muted. Maybe Tom accidentally muted his, or when he did.
Hey,
We should just have a private conversation, Kevin.
okay.
What about this? So you committed to Atlan?
We should talk about this later because I have another topic that need to discuss with Winnie. I think I could get back to you. Maybe we could have a separate conversation on this.
Sure, because it should be later anyway. But I'm just waiting for him to unmute, so there's nothing to do.
Okay. It looks cool. Your glasses.
Well, I bought them on the way back home just now. They cost almost $2.50.
Wow, so cheap.
So cheap, yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice.
you think they know that they're muted?
Sorry?
Because no one's really responding.
Yeah. just curious what they're talking about.
Well, Elaine said she agreed with Michael. That was already 2 minutes ago. So.
Kevin.
Yes. Oh?
Kevin.
Yeah. I can hear you, but can you?
Kevin, I think you. No. Oh, you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Why can't you hear us?
Do you type? I just want to know that. Do you have any?
We cannot hear you. I can hear you. We cannot hear you. Who?
You don't have any audio.
Anyways.
Can
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear
Can
me?
you do something so that I can see if I can hear if we can hear you.
Craig, you could hear me, right?
Yes.
I can hear you.
I can
Yes.
hear you.
Anyway, if you have any, you may drop. You may try to drop and join it again, Kevin.
No.
You just broke it.
講乜嘢喎？大概
呢條呢個自己講嘢。
You cannot hear anyone. You need to do 5 minutes.
我係 avatar 啊嘛，我哋個 avatar。You mute it
Oh, my hearing game was chatting. What?
Yeah, we were chatting. You can't hear me. I think you screwed up the mic.
What?
Me,
Yes.
me.
I don't think we can hear anyone.
my wall.
Okay,
Anyone talk?
I'm talking now. I'm talking now. I'm talking now. I'm talking now.
Maybe, but you're mute.
Yeah, he speak, but we cannot hear him.
Because you're mute.
No, I heard Matthew.
Hello?
No, I'm mute. When I'm not talking, I'm muted.
Yeah, can you hear us?
We do.
We can hear you.
Which part you missed? I want to know which part you missed. Okay, I just a very quick sum up. I think it's only for China one. Tom just presents the WOW film that he designed it, and he will gather all the feedback from other countries to see if they are fine with them, and then we will come back to discuss with Michael again to see if it is good to develop on that. That's all for China one. So what we are going to next is I want to ask Calvin. Okay, I'll stop shooting to I want to ask Kevin if you have any follow-up on the card you presented last week about the driver app distance filter.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just curious, because it was not clear that how we're gonna implement the Career Roadmap 6. I mean the dynamic distance filter. So like from from last week, the we somehow conclude that we're gonna hide the base location address from the distance filter, and I'm not going to make the GPS as a mandatory for using application. Is it confirmed that still the same?
Okay. And the other one that we originally wanted to discuss is about the OLE map that we put on the roadmap 7. But actually, we are for the management. They are still talking about that. We know that it will be expired in the end of the November. But they are thinking if they want to investigate more about the impact to us and all our systems. But I just want to have your advice that if we really want to change the map from OLE map to the other one, how long we should take for the upgrade for the update on that? I know because it will involve all the platform.
So I think you need to. So my first question is, on the date that our license with OLE expires, will everything break?
Yeah.
So even our use of the mobile app SDK will break on that date?
It really depends on the contract, but in contract wise, we're gonna check with the OLE to make sure the exact expiration date before we switch to the new map API. If we have some up gap that we could use both together, I don't think it's really a matter of the time.
Well, I guess you need to ask each of the teams like how long it will take to do a new integration, and that depends on how similar the SDK is. So I mean, as I understood, there was no new version of the OLE SDK for iOS. It was only a very old version. So if this is newer, it may be better. If it's very different, it might need to be integrated. So you need to know like how long it will take for Android, iOS, anything the driver app now does, which I think they're mostly just hitting the actual APIs that we use on the server. I think the server changes probably aren't that severe, given we kind of know all the calls we make. I don't know. I guess there's a couple of weeks of time passing to get it done. And then you probably have to force update the client and driver apps to make sure that we update.
Once we switch to the new map API, then we should force update the client and driver.
So if we need to make a change for all our platform, then I guess it's a couple of weeks time. So actually it's quite tight for our changes. Yeah, because I need to know how much time we need to make the change, and then to talk back to the management to let them know how much time we can have to consider and to make decisions. So yeah.
I think like to do it for us should be like 1 or 2 weeks, and then double the time to review and to step back, so maybe 1 month.
Okay, so only for a department, maybe 1 to 2 weeks are enough.
Actually, I already have done some tests with my tool, so the core implementation is fairly similar. Just the domain and the parameters are different.
But is there any official document for all the platform like iOS, Java, Android for Java, and the web for JavaScript? Because you created the JSON form version, I think.
We have 2 separate documents, but yeah, I could provide you. One is for Java, and second is for API guideline.
Yeah, I think this one would be the more details in later stage, and before that we need to have approval from the management that we are going to change this one, or if they have the other alternatives to do. So maybe Kevin, let's wait for their confirmations, and I know that they're working on that, but I will tell them about the timeline and how much time we need to do on our update. Okay, so the next one, I think room 7 card will be around the same. If you have any questions, you can raise now or later on. Singapore, I think similar things. They know. And Hong Kong, they're gathering some data, and probably will have the MasterCard come out next week. So that's we will let you know once we are done. And India, do you have anything?
There's nothing for India room 7, but for the driver app, in terms of the translation, the driver has said there are a few translations from the server side. So I've actually highlighted all the non-translated copywriting. It's actually on the discussion list. So I've asked Edka to see which are the copywriting that are from server side, and I will have them translate as well.
Only server team will, only driver team can help, or do they?
We'll need a server team
to
assistance, but it should be easy, right? The translation.
Yes.
We're talking about Tamil translation, right?
Yeah. Because all the copywriting on the driver side has been translated, and there are some of them have not yet been translated, and Edka said that those are from server. So I've asked Edka to point them out, and I will have Indian operations to have them translated as well, and then get it Dom and Dom complete the translation.
Yeah, so Kevin, I think we may need your help to check with the other team member to try to get these translated items out for us as soon as possible, so that we can pass it back to Indian team for them, Tarun, to give us the translated version. Yeah, because it has been quite a long time for them to have stuff there.
Okay.
Kevin, is that
separate? I think Calvin coming on. So separate question is at the moment we basically haven't configured the staging India server. I'm wondering if we should. What the timeline to actually launch?
Is that necessary? Because currently all the testing are done on that server.
Well, that's fine if you're happy with that.
Huh? Pardon?
That's fine if you're happy with that. That's fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Any follow-up for Pixar? Anything? Yeah, because you have the timeline, right? You have the timeline. You need to release it next week. Corporate release next week.
Yeah.
So far so good, or anything you need? Any team support?
I still need to check. I didn't do all the review yet. So if I have any questions, I will brainstorm.
Okay. Okay, sure. So anything about the roadmap we want to talk now? Anything? No. So I think only 2 left is career pricing and B2B API follow. I think it is only deal with server team. So maybe we will talk separately instead of holding everyone here. And anything else? If no, then we stop here, and then we will have the other chat this week. Okay. Overseas. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.